Welcome back to the WD Sports Lounge. All right, in this video here, we're going to talk about the Boston Celtics defeating the New York Knicks and pushing a game six, surviving another day. And what was the difference in this game compared to the other ones? The difference in pretty much any game that the Celtics win, they were hitting their shots, they were hitting their 3-pointers. Regardless of the fact that they were missing their star Jason Tatum, who we all know by now ruptured his Achilles tendon and will be out for the rest of the season and probably some of the next season as well, depending on how quick he can recover from that injury. But we all know that that injury is very significant and a lot of people don't come back the same for whatever reason. But we're not hoping that for Jason Tatum because we don't want to wish on no one's career to be shortened based on injury. But injury is a part of the game. It's part of what happens, and that's the difference. That's the difference between you winning a championship and not. Because if you have a healthy team and you play teams that are not, chances are you're gonna have a pretty easy road to the top. And in this case, this road was not as easy for the Celtics as it was last season. Whereas for now, most players, most of the teams are somewhat healthy, but more healthier than the run that they had last year compared to what they had this year. But aside from that, they were still able to pull off the win today, and they played a pretty much defensive game. They were hitting their threes, like I said, shooting 52% from the field, but the Knicks were shooting 36%, so that was a big difference swing right there. And 45% from three, and they were making 65% of their free throws. But the game leader of the game leader was Derek White. Derek White finished off the game with 34 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Luke Cornett was also a contributor today. He had 7 blocks, along with 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 1 assist. And Jaylen Brown clocked in 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 12 assists. Al Horford was also a good contributor as well. He was hitting a couple of 3-pointers, but he was a monster on defense, and he was putbacks, step backs, you name it. They were doing what they had to do to win. They played like the team that was desperate. They played like the team that knew that if they did not win tonight, that they were going to be packing their bags and heading to Cancun along with the other teams that didn't make it to this point. So shout out to the Boston Celtics for not giving up. Um, but they have a tough task ahead of them going into game six with the Knicks. And the Knicks pretty much, they had a good game as well. Josh Hart scored 24 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Jalen Brunson with 22 points, 1 rebound, and 6 assists. And Mitchell Robinson with 8 points, but with 13 rebounds. And pretty much the game got out of control in the fourth quarter, really, once the Celtics were hitting their threes. But the first 3 quarters, the game was pretty good, pretty close. It was back and forth seesaw game. I think about like 1 to 2 possession differences, but they blew it open in the fourth quarter. So, like I said, shout out to the Celtics. Hopefully, they could try to maintain that energy and try to complete somewhat an impossible, a very possible but very difficult task as they head to Madison Square Garden for Game 6. Because I know the Knicks may be looking at it like, all right, if there was one game we had to let go or give away, it's this game. But now we got to take care of home. They got to go to Madison Square Garden, and MSG is going to be jumping, like I've said before in previous videos that I've done about this series. But definitely, I think the Knicks are gonna go in Madison Square Garden, go all out for the crowd, and give the crowd something to cheer for as they secure them spot, as they try in the attempt to secure their spot in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. So yeah, so shout out to the Boston Celtics for making this series just that much interesting. And I said that this series would be I do have the Knicks still winning in 6, but only because I see because of the injury to Tatum, how devastating that is for the Celtics. But there's no fight, there's no quit in them. There's no quit in this team at all. Um, there's no quit, and it showed today. They stuck together and they did what they had to do. They grinded it out, and they didn't make it easy for the Knicks. The Knicks were having a tough time keeping up with them, keeping ahead of them. But like I said, in the fourth quarter, they blew it open. So that shows the tenacity of the defending champions. They're giving it their all. If they are going to go out, they're going out with a fight, and they definitely showed that tonight. So good win for the Celtics, and now they have to prepare to go against the Knicks on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I think that game is on Friday, game 6. So tell me what y'all think about that, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. All right, this is WD Sports Lounge signing off.